So 2023 saw us complete a parkrun on most Saturdays.
We've run them on fields.
We've run them on trails.
And we've run them on tarmac.
In this video, we're going to take you through the top 6 fastest parkruns that we've done this year, which feature in the top 5% of the Power 10 UK fastest parkrun list.
So you join us on Christmas Day 2023. So Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
And we recently completed one of our local parkruns at Barnsley, which definitely isn't one of the fastest in the UK. In fact, it appears at 534th in a list of 760.
So this is a list compiled by Tim Gross.
That's right, Tim, the eminent statistician, does an amazing amount of number crunching that's far beyond my comprehension, but each year he produces a list of what he has statistically found to be the fastest UK parkruns of the previous year.
So we had a look down that list recently,
and we discovered we had done 6 parkruns this year within the top 5%-ish on that list.
So we're going to take you through our visits to those parkruns.
And we're going to show you why they are ranked so highly on the UK's fastest parkrun list, but also point out 1 or 2 things you may need to think about if you intend to go to those parkruns to chase a parkrun PB, a season's best, or just a fast time for your own age group or age grading. And if you stick around to the end, we'll take you through one parkrun that was new on deck this year that we went to that we think has a pretty good chance of making it into next year's top 5%.
So before we carry on, we'd really like you to give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do so.
So coming in at number 39 in the UK's fastest parkruns is Cardiff.
Yes, quick pedant note, if Cardiff is number 39 in a list of 760, it's actually in the top 5.13%, but you know what I mean.
Cardiff Parkrun takes place in Bute Park.
A lovely large park quite near the centre of Cardiff. That's right, we went there on the 25th of November this year for a very special occasion, which was
my 500th parkrun. On the day I ran my second fastest parkrun this year with 21:35.
And it also happens to be my fastest parkrun course of all time, done all the way back in 2008 with a 16:27.
Cardiff Parkrun takes place on a good quality tarmac surface.
And it's a course that flows nicely, there's no sharp bends, no sharp turns. There's this one big turn at the far point.
One thing to look out for if you're going to do Cardiff Parkrun is it is actually quite narrow at the start.
Yeah, we can see here footage of some runners having to go up onto the grass at the start in order to get into pace.
So if you're a middle of the pack runner or somebody who starts at the back, it might take you a little while to get over the start line.
And some of the faster runners may find themselves going up for the final 2 kilometres as some of the other runners are coming down. But as you can see here, people are very polite, very kind, and give each other full width of the path. So coming in at number 6 and the fastest parkruns we've done this year is Cardiff. And do we like Wales then?
So welcome to our second choice of the UK fastest parkruns in 2023.
That's right, and coming in at number 31 out of 760 is Exmouth Parkrun down in Devon. So we paid a visit down to Exmouth on the 29th of July this year.
Exmouth is a lovely out and back course on the Esplanade.
And as such, it's run all on tarmac paths and it is pretty flat.
So how many times did we go out and back, John?
From memory, there were 3 180-degree turns. So on the day we did it, it was a slightly altered course due to various attractions and events taking place in the Devon summer sunshine. On the day, I was really pleased to run 2024, my fastest parkrun time in over 4 years.
So there are a few pros and cons with running on a flat seafront course. So one con is susceptible to the weather. So if you're running on a seafront course, it can be very windy.
As it was on the day we were there, it's pretty breezy, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Also, given the fact there are those 3 180-degree turns, it does slow you down slightly, although as you can see from this footage, the one down at the far end is quite a looping turn, so you don't slow down quite so much as you would on a sharp turn. So on the day we did it, after a little bit of congestion at the start, the course soon opens up and you get a nice wide run, and because of the width of the esplanade, as you're coming back up and other runners are coming back down, there's no chance of being impeded or getting in each other's way.
A bonus for me was the beautiful sea views, which I find extremely inspirational.
The 5th fastest parkrun we went to last year was Exeter in Devon.
So we've just done 7 miles on Boxing Day, yay!
Excellent. So coming in at number 15 on the UK's fastest parkrun list is Market Rasen.
Yes, Market Rasen, my 3rd fastest out of the parkruns we're bringing to you.
That's right. Market Rasen Racecourse Parkrun, as the name suggests, take place on Market Rasen Racecourse in Lincolnshire. It's a little bit remote, a little bit out of the way on most tourist trails, but well worth a visit, very scenic. It's a 2-lap course, and it got faster a couple of years ago because half of it used to be trail surface, didn't it? But they've since had it redone and it's all tarmac now, or 95% tarmac. Very little elevation, and it just lends itself, nice flow, isn't it?
Yes, it's a course that has no sharp turns, so it doesn't disrupt the flow if you run.
And being where it is, it doesn't attract huge crowds, so you get a good start. You can, whatever pace you are, you can start fairly near the start line, and there's very little, if any, congestion.
That's correct.
So I had a super day out at Market Rasen Parkrun on, I think, the 24th of June, running my first sub 21 for quite a few years, 2039 if memory serves me well.
So yeah, a couple of things that could actually disrupt a fast run are...
because it is quite a thin field, at the sharper end, if you're running sort of sub 16 minutes, there's probably fewer people to work with and around. I was okay running sort of mid 20 minutes with plenty of people to sort of chase, work with, pick off and race if you can do that at a parkrun.
Well, you can do your own race. The other thing is that being on a race course is actually exposed, so it could be sort of open to the elements. So if it's a windy day, then yes, you could have your faster run disrupted.
So the 3rd of our 6 fastest parkruns of the year is Market Rasen Racecourse Parkrun in Lincolnshire. So the 4th of the fastest parkruns we did, coming in at number 13 on the Tim Gross list, is Long Eaton in Derbyshire.
Yes, we went to Long Eaton in March when our part of the country was in a deep blanket of snow.
But fortunately, conditions at Long Eaton on the day were quite benign. Now, we didn't go there to actually run this one hard. I think we ran it in about 26 minutes. Because in the afternoon we headed over into Nottinghamshire to do the Notts 10. But Long Eaton Parkrun is a 2-lap course, again all on tarmac, and again there are very few, if any, sharp turns.
Yes, and of course with a 2-lap course you get less overtaking and congestion than you do with a 3-lap course.
And given the fact Long Eaton is in the Midlands, it's probably more accessible for people in many parts of the country than some of the parkruns we brought you in this video.
So one factor to take into consideration when going for fast time is that the start is actually quite a narrow path.
But worry not, because there's nice areas of grass on either side of the path, and as you can see here, some runners are starting there and still getting quite a good fast start to their parkrun.
Yeah, because once you started, you're off the grass and then you're straight onto the paths. And the paths, as John said, are quite nice tarmac. So the 4th on the list is Long Eaton, and yes, it's a lovely one to go and have a go at. The 5th of the 6 fastest parkruns that we've done this year is
Hull Parkrun. So over the 15 years we've been park running, Hull is our most visited parkrun. 26 visits for Dawn, 28 visits for me.
So Hull is my fastest parkrun PB course of all time.
And for me, it's my 3rd fastest course, and a course on which 3 consecutive years I ran exactly 16:46 each year. So what is it that makes Hull come in as the 4th fastest course on the UK fastest parkrun list? Well, firstly, it's all on smooth tarmac. There's no off-road sections at all. Secondly, there is 1 or 2 little 90-degree turns, but nothing too bad, and it mostly flows really nicely.
Thirdly, it has quite wide paths, so overtaking isn't an issue, so you don't get impeded. Your run can just flow nicely.
That's it, and like Long Eaton, it's also a 2-lap course, so you're not lapping runners and walkers on multiple occasions. And unlike Cardiff, it has a nice wide road where you start, so even if you're running at the mid and the back pack, you're going to be across the start line quicker than you were on a very narrow path like Cardiff.
So that's probably why it's so highly rated as a fast course.
Yeah, what I like about it, it's very much a rhythm runner's course. There are very long sections where there are no twists, turns or changes at all. You can just get into gear and cruise along nicely and strongly.
Yeah, I mean the turns that you talk about, they're mainly like bends, aren't they? They just sort of meander, that's a nice word, they meander around one part of the course.
So Hull Parkrun takes place in East Park, as the name suggests, on the east of the city. It's not one often on the usual UK Parkrun tourist trail because Hull is a little bit off the beaten track. But as I said on a recent video when we went last weekend, Hull is my favourite parkrun of the 277 venues I've been to. Not just because it's fast, but it's a fantastically picturesque park and an amazing parkrun morning out.
So you could say then the only downside to Hull is where it's positioned, because obviously if you live down south it's a long way to go.
So that's 5 fast parkruns that go all the way up to number 4 on the UK fastest parkrun list, and the fastest parkrun we have been to this year comes in at number 3 in the UK.
Ooh.
And that parkrun is?
That one is Poole in the southwest.
That's right, Poole in Dorset is it's an odd course, isn't it? There's 2 laps you do of a cricket field and then 1 big loop you do of a lake. Now it seems to attract very, very fast times.
It does, and we were discussing this the other day because when I ran it back in April, one of the things that I noted was there's a sharp right-hand turn that you have to take to go around a cricket pitch, and actually I came nearly to a standstill there. And also another section of the course you run around the back of a lake, which is slightly gravelly off-road, and again I got impeded there because it was quite lots of runners. We question why it's such a fast course.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part we've got wide roads to run on and it's good quality tarmac. But yeah, if you were just sense checking without all the stats that Tim Gross has produced, you think it's a fastish course, but certainly wouldn't be the fastest in the country. And we think one magic element that Poole has above many parkruns is the sea air. Maybe it's just fresher, and people are light and airy breathing from the lungs, float around Poole Lake.
That is a possibility, isn't it, that the sea air actually helps you to run faster.
So if you have any scientific evidence to back up that contention, let us know in the comments below.
And the other course that also could benefit from that beautiful sea air is the one we mentioned earlier, Exeter.
So which course was your parkrun PB set at? Let us know in the comments below, and also take a look at that list and see where that parkrun features on the 1 to 760 ranking. So for those of you who stuck with the video to this point, we did promise you a new in 2023 parkrun we think might make the top 5% of the rankings for next year.
So we bring you the 5 Arches Parkrun in the town of Radstock in Somerset.
So yes, this parkrun started in September and we went to event number 6. It's an out and back again on an old railway line, as you can see here. The parkrun gets its name from those arches that you can see Dawn running past, and it is all on nice flat tarmac.
However, there are 3 180-degree turns and the paths are quite narrow, so overtaking can be a little bit of an issue.
But despite that, on our visit, despite having heavy legs and managing to semi-tweak my hamstring halfway around and not being able to run at my full potential, I did get a time of 20:42, which is my 5th fastest parkrun of the year. So next year, watch out for 5 Arches Parkrun getting up that hit parade of fast UK parkruns. So I think we've shown from the parkruns we've featured, there are 5 perhaps different elements that go into making a fast parkrun course. Firstly, the surface. Tarmac is best. Tarmac.
Secondly, minimal elevation.
Thirdly, lack of congestion and lack of pinch points so you get a nice clear run.
And fourthly, that you're not exposed to the elements too often.
And fifthly, that magic X factor we think Poole and Exeter might have, the clean sea air. But if you can think of any other elements that might go into making a fast parkrun course, let us know in the comments below and we'll look out for them.
I've got one.
What's that?
Depth of field.
Put it in the comments below, please. So I hope you've enjoyed revisiting some of the fastest UK parkruns that we've done this year. If you have, please give this video a like, and if you'd like to see our parkrun journeys and our progress towards our spring and autumn marathon and other racing goals, please consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, there's an extensive playlist of our previous parkrun perambulations, there you go, which is above Dawn's head if you want to check out any of our previous parkrun videos.
So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.